Did you wonder, as no one was there and away from the circumstances of the match, whether things might happen really quickly?
No, to be honest, I think we're pretty used to the change of direction that we need to take. So I got a phone call on the way to the ground to say there's going to be no crowd. And then obviously we hear the government, they do a press conference not long after that. The situation over here is, I think there's one case today, so I'm not sure if that expands. What's that mean for lockdown? What does that mean for us getting out of the state quickly? So we'll just do what we do. We're a lot more relaxed with the whole thing now. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then we fly it on Friday.
Sam, it might be a silly question, but what's it like coaching your team without a crowd there? Is there any impact whatsoever for you guys?
I think it was about a 55-point impact.
Yeah.
Robbo. Look, that was our third game we've played in the last 12 months with no crowd at Optus. So we played round one, which was bizarre last year, 2020, against Melbourne. And then we played the Derby earlier this year, which was in front of no one as well. So we've done it before. We've had success before playing in front of no crowd. So that had nothing to do with yesterday, obviously.
Could you imagine an 18-club scenario for a number of weeks in Victoria with all games in this state?
I don't think anything's out of the question with the way things are at the moment. It feels like we've been lucky this year, doesn't it? It's one state opens, another closes. So, anything's possible, I suppose, is the answer. And I think, we've got this far through the season. I think whatever we need to do, we'll do. So that's in front of us. And, like I said, we're disappointed not to get our crowd in the weekend, not only obviously our support, but financially as well. I think anyone who doesn't play in front of a crowd, it hurts your bottom line. So if it ends up being an 18-team hub, then so be it.
Samo, on to the football, 24 hours on. I don't know if you've done the review today or not done the review. If you have done the review, did it look as bad as it was? Did you salvage anything out of the review? Or was it worse than what you imagined?
It was about what I thought it would be. I suppose the most disappointing thing about us yesterday is you just don't want to get beaten by what you know. And we know the Bulldogs, their real strength is around the contest and work rate. And we thought we started poorly in both. And we're very lucky to be in the game at quarter time because they missed so many shots. And we spent so much time trying to get out of our back half. So we hung in there for a couple of quarters, and I did feel like there was a bit of a momentum shift at some stage halfway through the third, but we didn't take opportunities. And then the last quarter, I think once they kicked their first one, they then kicked 5 in a row after it. So it really blew out after that. But no, we were quite disappointed the way we played, Robbo.
Good teams have a pretty consistent effort level. And we've seen it from you guys in recent weeks. Really proud, I think. You would have been really proud with the way your team performed. And then you have that effort on the weekend where you question the effort around the contest. Is it fair to say you guys aren't a good team at the moment?
Oh, it's a good question. I suppose we've got to own it. So, one thing I do know, the Bulldogs are a very good side and we're not at their level at the moment. We think our best footy can compete. We're just not doing it consistent enough. Albeit, I think we've made some gains in the last 4 or 5 weeks around the contest and trying to play the game on our terms. We just, on the weekend, we started poorly, finished poorly, and what was Josh Kennedy's 250th game, which was a special milestone for him and the club. So yeah, look, we need to own where we're at. We're 7th on the ladder. We've made some gains with some personnel and playing some of our kids in recent weeks, and with some of our senior players back, was probably our most experienced side for the year. We played on the weekend. And that was really disappointing that we couldn't start well or at least match them in some of the areas we really value.
Did you run out of gas with the set of players that you brought back, did you think?
Well, it's a good question. It's a balance between, did we run out of gas? But I think the start of the game, I think for quarter time, there must have been 12 shots to 2. So you really can't say that. I mean, our worst quarter was our first quarter. So are they a few guys a bit rusty? I think so. I think you'll get a better Luke Shuey in 4 or 5 weeks' time. And there's not many other ways you can come back into the AFL system other than playing 1 or 2 games of waffle footy over here. So that'll take a bit of time, but that's not an excuse. So we really don't think it was a underdone sort of thing. I think they were way too good from the start, and they finished off really well, but the damage was done in the first half.
What do you say to Liam Ryan about his technique? Did you tell him he has to tackle? Has he got an issue, or was it just a bad play at the time?
Yeah, I think Liam in the past has been a very good exponent of the hip and shoulder, and if you don't get it right, you're more than likely going to get weak. So he should be tackling in that situation. And unfortunately, he didn't. So there was another one. He was pretty close to giving another free kick away. So, yeah, we've spoken about it. We need to address it, and it just can't be in the game anymore. It's too risky. So we'll learn from that.
So he got the 1 week suspension, but he didn't get the free kick at the time.
No, he didn't get the free kick at the time, which I thought was a little bit surprising. But then I fell off my chair, Simo, when
I know where you're going.
When Caleb Daniel... No, I just want to tell you, to remind you how bad it was. Caleb Daniel running with the fly of the ball, that is a free kick since we're all been children. And he got him, and I understand Gaff's got stitches in the face, and no free kick was paid. What was more surprising, the Liam Ryan bump or the Gaff contact of the head?
I'm not going to compare the two. It was just a probably mistake, to be honest. And we all make mistakes, so we move on. I mean, for every mistake, there's 100 right decisions. So yeah, we're not going to die in a ditch on that one. I don't think it would have mattered with the result of the game.
Have you both coached with face masks on? And if you have, how many masks you go through? Because I would imagine there'd be a lot of spittle coming out onto your mask as you're coaching for 120 minutes. Fair call?
Well, mine was over my eyes.
We had it on the weekend.
Simo had the best technique of all. Coaching in masks might not be the worst idea, Simo. His horse has always gone with this one. All you need is the mask.
Yeah. Actually, we were told at quarter time. That's how quickly things were moving in the state. So in the morning, 10:30, no crowds, and by 2 o'clock, we were told put the mask on inside the box at quarter time. So things changed pretty quick.
All right. Well, we'll see you in Geelong, Adam, and hopefully you're hosting, Matty. Thanks a lot for your time tonight.
Thanks, boys.